I, 28M, have been married to my wife, 27F, for 3 years. We met in college, and I thought we had the dream setup. I work as a senior analyst for a logistics firm, so my brain is literally wired to find patterns and catch things that don't add up. About 6 months ago, the data stopped making sense. My wife started working late at her marketing agency, but her car's mileage was way too high for just a trip to the office. She started sleeping with her phone under her pillow and changed her passcode. Last Tuesday, the patterns finally broke. She fell asleep on the couch and a notification popped up from a contact saved as a work emoji. It said, "Missing your skin tonight. Can't wait for Friday." I used her thumb to unlock the phone while she slept and found everything. It wasn't just a one-time thing. She'd been having a massive affair with her boss for months. They mocked me in their texts, calling me boring and predictable, while using our joint credit card to book weekend getaways. I woke her up by dropping the phone on her.
I didn't yell.
I just asked, "Who is he?" She didn't even flinch. She sat up, looked me in the eye with this insane level of entitlement and said, "It's just excitement. It's work stress. We flirt, maybe we do a bit more, but there's no feeling behind it. I still come home to you, don't I? It's not really cheating if I don't love him." I was stunned. "No feeling? You told him you needed him in your bed." She actually laughed and told me I was being dramatic. She said, "If there's no emotional connection, it doesn't count against our marriage. That's just how the real world works." I felt something click in my head. Cold, hard logic took over. "Is that the rule now?" I asked. "If there's no feeling behind it, it's fair game?" She shrugged and said, "Exactly." So I told her, "Fine. Then I guess I can do the same." I walked into the kitchen and messaged a contact I hadn't talked to in a while, her mother. My wife followed me, smirking, asking if I was texting an old girlfriend. Her face turned ghost white when she saw the name. See, her mother is a high-powered matrimonial attorney who specializes in high-asset divorces. More importantly, her mother actually owns the deed to our house for tax reasons and controls the massive trust fund my wife was supposed to inherit next year. Her mother and I always got along because she respected my work ethic and low-key hated her daughter's laziness. I texted her, "Hey, it's me. I found the evidence of the affair with the boss you warned her about. The no-feeling rule is in effect. I'm ready for that backup plan we discussed." The phone rang instantly. I put it on speaker. Her mother's voice boomed through the kitchen. "I have the folder you sent. My daughter is a fool. I told her if she jeopardized the family's reputation, she'd be out." My wife started screaming, "Mom, it's not what it looks like." But her mother snapped, "Quiet. I'll have my associate at the door in 2 hours with an eviction notice. Since the house is in my name and you, my son-in-law, have been the one paying the taxes and upkeep, you're staying." "She's leaving. I just signed the trust fund amendment." "She's cut off." My wife collapsed. She tried to tell me she loved her boss and didn't need us anyway because he was going to make her VP. I told her to check her work Slack. While she was asleep, I'd sent a perfectly organized PDF of their business, expenses to the board of directors, and their biggest client. They were using client funds for their hotels. By the time the lawyer arrived to kick her out, she'd already been fired and blackballed from the industry. The next few weeks were a mess of her trying to sue me for spousal support. She hired a bulldog lawyer, claiming I was abusive for making her homeless. At the first hearing, my mother-in-law destroyed them. She proved my wife used joint marital funds to finance the affair, which is marital waste, and showed that she violated the morality clause in the family trust. The judge denied her everything. No alimony, no house, and she had to hand over her passport because the agency started a criminal investigation into the embezzled funds. The boss didn't save her either. As soon as the legal heat turned up, he threw her under the bus, telling HR she was the one who initiated the financial fraud. His wife also started suing my wife for alienation of affection. The final nail in the coffin was her grandmother. I visited the family matriarch with the receipts showing my wife had spent $5,000 of the grandchildren's education fund on a watch for her lover. The grandmother was so disgusted she stripped my wife of her family name rights and removed her from an 8-figure will. At our final mediation, my wife looked like she was living in a nightmare. She was staying in a tiny studio, facing potential jail time, and had $0 to her name. She called me a monster and said I should have just divorced her like a normal person. I told her, a normal person would have let you break them. But you taught me that actions don't need feelings to have consequences. This is just the final audit of your choices. I signed the papers, kept the house, and moved on. My mother-in-law and I are actually selling the place now and putting the money into a scholarship for kids from broken homes. We're calling it the Integrity Fund. My ex is currently waiting for her court date, realizing too late that when you treat people like they don't have feelings, they eventually start acting like they don't have them for you, either. Since you've read this far, feel free to subscribe for more updates on my boring life. No emotional connection required, just like my ex wanted. Or don't, but just know that according to her logic, reading this without subscribing is basically cheating on the algorithm.